Welcome to this new episode of your podcast, where together we will find between discussions the space to generate doubts about what we have always learned. My name is Jason Gonzalez, and this is Monoculture Studio, your space to understand the world in a creative way. So welcome everyone to this second episode and the first one in English. I'm kind of excited with this exercise, Spanish and English listeners. I hope everyone can understand what I'm saying, hopefully. So today I'm with my big brother and friend, Mr. Tai, gamer and streamer from New Zealand, with a lot of experience about what is a life on the internet and everything about gaming life. Hermano, welcome to Monoculture Studio. How do you feel today? Talk about interesting shit. Tell me about it.
Look, thank you, Jace, for inviting me on to Pokaluz for our subjects today. Look, I'm excited as well. I'm excited to be a part of something that I think is, it's interesting as a whole.
That's nice. That's nice. I'm missing something about you. Anything else about your professional hobby, or do you want to say, like, how do you introduce yourself?
What do you mean?
I don't know, like, depends. Hey, I'm Ty, I'm this and that, or...
Look, I like for people just think of me as like another person. I think that the biggest thing for us is that we can all relate to each other somehow. So I like being as similar to everyone else as possible. I mean, I work a regular job, and my hobby is like streaming and gaming. So I think they make up the things I like most.
Okay, that's cool. So let's start. It's pretty normal to sometimes feel like you want to hide away from the stresses and pressures of the outside world. In fact, periods of solace and isolation can also help with important phases of development, such as exploring one's identity during adolescence, or just hard times that we are having in our lives. Family, friends, complicated relationships, or just existential crisis. That's it. Simple as that, right?
Yeah.
However, being physically isolated at home for at least 6 months, cut off from meaningful social relationships with significant stress and functional impairment, such avoiding tasks where they might have to interact with someone or deal with basic self-care needs. This behavior is becoming a sociocultural mental health phenomenon which is affecting around 1 million people. Are we going to be there someday, or are we already there?
Oof.
Today we're going to talk about Hikikomoris, loners, or modern-day hermits. How do you feel about this topic?
Oh man, like I said before, very excited. Hikikomoris is it's interesting for many reasons. There's a lot of people around that have they want to live away from where we are. You know, it's like the everyday life is a bit of a struggle. And then there are people who take it to the extreme where they don't want to do anything at all. And I think that because it's so new, or because it hasn't been looked at enough, I think that there needs to be some attention. People need to bring attention to this so that we can get it sort of when too far is too far, like when you're avoiding even going to the bathroom. Or when, it's just...
What do you mean going to the bathroom?
Well, in here, it says, like they're avoiding doing everyday tasks.
Yeah.
It's getting real bad.
Yeah. It's just like that. And
so if you're not going to the bathroom...
Are you okay going to the bathroom by yourself?
Yeah, hey,
it's
look,
okay.
I'm okay. I haven't gone that far yet.
All right. To start from the beginning, the conversation, a journalist portal explained the term Hikikomori, just to give a little bit of feedback. Derived from the verb hiki, to withdraw, and komori, to be inside. Was coined in 1998 by Japanese psychiatrist Professor Tamaki Saito. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name correctly. I think it's Japanese. Tamaki Saito.
Yep.
Saito chose the term to describe the many young people he saw who didn't fit criteria for mental health diagnosis, but were nonetheless in a state of extreme distressing withdrawal. Problems with extreme social withdrawal in Japanese youth first gained attention during the 1990s. This is the period when Japan endured an economic ice age, which prevented many young people from achieving their goals. Research shows traumatic experience of shame and defeat are commonly reported as triggers across cultures, such as failing important exams or not securing, let's say, like the better job that they want.
Yeah.
It's possible that Japan's cultural value system may make this population more vulnerable due to pressure for collective uniformity and the fear of social shame. You know that Japan, like the stereotype in Japan, make really hard to like you have to be the best.
Yeah.
You cannot just be just a normal person. Okay, you have to
be the best of the best. You have to work the hardest, the longest.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect. So Hikikomori people avoid re-traumatization by choosing to opt out of the normal pathway set out for them by society. So Hikikomori population and those from other populations show that although many wish society will forget them, they cannot and will not forget the world they left behind. Instead, they passively observe the world via online gaming and social media in a form of social debt. Experts are also beginning to explore Hikikomori's possible connection with autism, depression, social anxiety, and agoraphobia. So, in the first episode, I was talking about the danger and benefits of trusting on the internet and the power of the universe, you know. Do you think that is a consequence of that pressure every day to be productive? Or it was internet who convinced us to live away of the reality?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going for one which is, you know, if you're looking at the internet, it's tempting. Tempting as in you can be whatever you want. You can be however you want. If, for example, people that play games where you've got freedom to kill, where you can be as gross online as you want without being in trouble. And then you've got games that you just keep leveling up, and take Fortnite, for example. People just want to level up. They want to be the best. It's okay to be rough. It's okay to be rude. They don't care about that. So I think that for the tempting part, yeah, internet's definitely there. I guess it's strong. It's very strong. But I also don't think that people are given a fair environment, especially not people from Japan. I don't think they're given a fair environment that's going to accept them. Because you mentioned early on, there's like a criteria. It's the culture that you have to have the highest standard.
Yeah.
There's no room for people that aren't going to be doing the most. And then there are extremes where there are people that aren't doing anything. So I think that, again, it's not given enough attention. I don't think it's given enough attention. And when you mix them two together, when you get the tempting side along with the pressure of everyone around you, the culture around you, I think they're both going the same way. I think they're both pushing people and pulling people at the same time towards them.
Will you say, like, on gaming life, on internet, everyone can be the same? Because you know that the real life is really hard to get, let's say, like some status or some kind of levels, you know? So on internet, according with your experience, what do you think is this, like everyone can be the same, it just, or how you see that?
I think there's more room on the internet. There's more room for everyone. I mean, if you take sports in modern day, or you take the Olympics, for example, there's one Olympics every so many years. So there's one chance for one person at a time to win a certain event to get gold. That's the amount of room you've got. And then you go and compare it with the game. You know, anyone can win a game because there's just another one. Anyone can go to a different game and win there because there's another one. You could be the top for, I don't know, a couple months, and someone else will take your place. There's so much more room and variety online than I think in things that we're competitive about in real life. I also think that something to take in is that the people who are winning the most at life, you know, the top of the top that can't be touched, I think they just can't be touched. And that's it. It's like trying to join a game where everyone's got everything already. Yeah. You're trying to win. Like, oh, please help me, someone. Please give me the lotto so I can get up there and, you know, compete with you guys.
Give me a hand.
Give me a gun so I can shoot too, man. Don't just trap me in a box, you know. I think that's how some of these games are shaped. They're not designed for you to win. And then the games online are designed for anyone to win. Well, a lot of them are. A lot of them are biased.
Do you find it easy on the internet?
Oh, in the sense that there's more time. It feels like there's more time. So we're trying to do a career. Like say your career, whatever you're trying to pursue, you've got one life to do that. Like your whole life is so many years to go and do this. And then if you just want to go and win a game, win a match of Fortnite, you want to get a crown on Fortnite, you can play like 50 of them in 8 hours. You can play 50 different games, but you can only get one career. If you really want to jump straight into it, you get one chance in your life.
Wow. Well, many young people may currently be feeling hopeless and may not see prospect for a new beginning, or may feel unable to reach their goals. Like maybe, like you say, you can find a better chance on the gaming on just on the internet. Yeah, I think this is really related with this. Those that may have lost their jobs as a result of the pandemic may also detach to avoid further shame and suffering.
Yeah.
An increase in severe and persistent withdrawal will go unnoticed unless we ensure everyone can get the help they need to stay connected with society. The BBC Future Portal, they tell that the condition was initially thought to be unique to Japan. But look at this. But in recent years, cases have appeared across the world. Let's say South Korea. A 2005 analysis estimated there were 33,000 socially withdrawn adolescents. Let's say it's 0.3% of the population. In Hong Kong, a 2014 survey pitched the figure at 1.9%. It's not just in Asia. Cases are appearing in the US, Spain, Italy, France, and elsewhere. Like, it's just everywhere. Which this means that should be something that we are living around the world in common. Like, we're under the same system or matrix, just to be, you know. And probably the same rules that we are used to are changing. If we are assuming those rules or life patterns, they don't suit for everyone, and a lot of people reject to where they work life just to suffer every day to get the money to survive, to pay the rent, to pay the bills. So let's say like people who live in campers or they are traveling all the time and they are always in such a good vibe. Like, to be honest, for example, gaming too, like what we need to move away to the real life, because that's pretty interesting that we are suffering. Like, you can see a lot of people suffering, just working every day, that's working extra hours. They don't pay for that. You are not.
Wow, you really gonna try that? Man, that was like an hour ago.
It's okay. We are not gonna cry today.
Okay, I'm gonna cry. This is not it.
So you can spend several hours online being aware of this war. Yeah, because I know the way that you really like to play and spend time in gaming. And do you think someday we can move to a totally live online, like, you know, like have you seen the episode Black Mirror? Like, actually, you spend a lot of time there. What do you think about it? We are ready for that? Like, what, or how we can move to that kind of life, if it's possible, maybe?
I think it's going that way. To be fair, I think that everything is heading towards being online solely for the space. It can be changed. There's much more room to be anything. A lot more freedom. And then out here, we've got all the rules that you have to abide by. It's the rules of the science stuff that I don't understand, but like the physics that I also don't understand. But heading into that future part that you're talking about, or the part that we want to make it to where we're all online, I think it relates to a lot that's going on in the world at the moment. The discussions over raw materials and online materials, things that you can hold in your hand and things that people say exist in your hand or in your bank.
How do you sell materials online? Because I know you can buy, let's say, like, oh, give me this gun online.
Are you serious? You ever shop on Amazon?
Yeah. But in Amazon, you're going to receive it physically. Unless you're buying like a book online.
Oh, so you're talking about...
Which I don't like it.
Yeah.
because I prefer something. Maybe I don't know. I'm really old school. I prefer the book.
Yeah.
I like to just smell the book.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. So you're buying just online things. Let's say, no, I think you. I mean, I don't know. For me, I always want to receive the things physically, or which is pretty interesting. Is the way that we are using the banks because cash is disappearing.
It makes sense that we made the whole transition into using banks. Like it makes sense. Think about back in the day when you had to try and sell like a lettuce or a cabbage or any kind of fruit. At first, it's fine. You'd go and take like 20 of them to someone and say, hey, I want some money for this. I guess sweet, here you go. And then you start delivering truckloads and you're like, okay, hold on a second. I don't know if I can carry all of these potatoes or fruits or whatever. And so someone makes some genius idea of, oh, let's just say we made the trade and then you can come pick it up later. So you don't have to carry it to the market. You don't have to bring thousands of potatoes in. And I don't have to bring thousands of like money in.
Yeah.
So with everything moving to online, as much as people don't like it, eliminates so many of our problems physically. There's so much thievery, and you would know firsthand.
So this is the point. Are we getting new problems?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I think there's one way to tell that we're progressing, especially in games you can see, is that if there are problems, there are things that can be worked on. And
what kind of problems you can find in gaming? I mean, of course you need to win and all this stuff, but like actually you can compare those problems with the real life.
Yeah, well, okay, gaming in a way sometimes is super complex to me, but gaming in a way is kind of like making a cooking recipe. You're put into parameters. This is what you should do to get this outcome. You don't want to make a cake, this is what you should follow for the cake. And I think that when people want to make something new, they take a little bit of this and they change it. They add a little bit more of this. They change a little bit more of this. Someone else sees that and they're like, oh, I see what you did with your cake. I'm going to start making my cake like this. And I think gaming without showing people that they're making cakes or building something or having a competition about money in real life. Gaming without that is just problem solving versus problem solving. That person shot you because of this. They were faster at this. They thought about this and you didn't think about this. You haven't practiced enough of this. It's training people in a way. They don't realize. But it's training you. It's problem solving.
Wow. Which makes a lot of sense because you're applying your knowledge that you have in this real life and you're applying that knowledge online. Actually, you're improving your knowledge in that way.
And vice versa. I take what I learned from online, I try and apply it in real life.
Give me an example.
Do you want an example?
Yeah.
Let's say, okay, without dropping any kind of names or anything. At work, I've learned that what you're
give the
paid
name, the company.
Is what, give the name and the address. We'll sort it out. No.
Yeah, we'll see what can be.
Just take, where I work, I've learned that you're paid for a certain amount of time. I've also learned on games that if you put in this much amount of time, you're going to get this result. Now, what they're asking is so much more for such little pay. And if you look at it in a bigger sense, like, yeah, I can pay my rent. Yeah, I can get food. And I have a little bit of change. So they want to eliminate the change. They want to have you working just enough, at least the place that I work at, they want you to be working just enough to come back to work the next day. Not worry too much about it. You just want to come back and give another 12 hours and be paid for 6 of them. And then the same thing would apply in games, where you're expected to do so much more, but you're given so much more. Instead of just one day at work, instead of just one game, I'm given many as I want in the time that I've got. 20, 30 games. I can work it out. I can figure it out. There's so much more time to do these things. Not at work. Working your one day, and then that's like half a problem. 2 days, and you finish one problem. I'm sure you encounter it a lot when you're working in architect, that when you start a project, that project takes up how many days? Lots of days.
Wow, months.
Like
it can be years.
Look at that, years, right? If you wanted to draw something and make it on Minecraft, you draw it for 10 minutes. You write it out for 20 minutes. You get a bunch of people to jump in, and then all of a sudden you've got a building. Ta-da!
Easy.
Easy. It's like a couple hours, and never mind the
Where
project.
do you feel more frustration? In the real life or in gaming? I think it's a frustration too in the gaming.
I think they are the same problem. So the same problem I have in games is the same problem that I have in real life. Oh man, this Hikikomori's idea is sounding pretty good to me right now. But when I talk about the problem, I think a lot of games are just, like I said before, a cooking recipe. And all the players are just different chefs. There's lots of different chefs. And I think that the chefs are the part that need to be worked on. I think that they're all heading towards what Hikikomori represents, and they don't see it. And that's the biggest problem for me when someone, they have all the skills available to solve the problem. They know what they need to do to win.
Yeah.
But they don't choose that. They choose like the easier way. They choose whatever takes the least effort. If losing and complaining is what you want to do, that's what they do. If it's easier, they'll do it. And that's frustrating to me. Frustrating.
Yeah. I can see it. So
before we carry on, one of the things that I think is real interesting is how they're blurring the lines between what's real. I think that for people to actually take in things, they didn't know what's real. A lot of my problems with gamers is that they don't see when they're making a problem, and they'll believe that they're not making a problem, or they're not part of it, or they're doing nothing wrong. And when they start doing the same thing in real life, they get nowhere. And it's infectious, it's bad. Because they get nothing done. So that's the main thing they need to work on.
But what kind of problem do you mean? Like,
it's like a delusion. Like, oh, that guy killed me. Like, okay, say I'm the player. I run over to some dude thinking that I'm better than him. I believe it. I believe I'm better than him for whatever reason. He kills me. I'm like, nah, there's something wrong. He cheated. I was lagging. Anything like that. I do it sometimes. Like, sometimes they are cheating. But I also can tell when I'm trash. I know when I'm trash. Like, I know when I press the wrong thing, or I'm just not even there, and I'm like, he's just better. I got shit on. But people can't do that. They will never believe it. They'll stand and fight on that point instead of, oh, damn, I need to work on this. I need to go away. If I'm lagging, I need to go away, make some money in real life, get me better internet, come back. Try it again, run it again.
Wow. Okay.
There's ways to solve it, but you don't see it if you're in it.
Okay. Pretty interesting. I'm talking about this comparison between the real life and the internet or the gaming is because for me, if you ask me, to be honest, I can move really easy to that kind of life because I'm this kind of person. What I need, give me a second. I know it's not. They're not. Yeah, if you ask me, really, I can't move too easy to that kind of work because I need, for example, I would really love to dance. For example, I really like to share with people. I really like to, let's say, something really materialist or physical contact, like sex, for example. Bro, I can't live without sex, to be honest. It's just like that.
I get that. I understand.
So, how are you going to have that in the, I don't know.
Oh, you're asking questions that, unfortunately, I know some of the answers, too. Look, I just know the answers.
Yeah. It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of complicated. Like, if we're trying to think in the future, if I want to be there, maybe, I don't know, if we're going to have that kind of evolution that we don't have to have physical contact. And we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah? Do you get my point?
Of course. Look, I got so much to say about your point. It's great. It's scary. We'll cover the first part about how you were saying, oh man, you can't live without sex, man. Okay, I believe you. I'm with you on that. Now, let me show you a picture. Let me show you two pictures. Okay, one picture had a rough night. Your partner's around, not interested. Maybe you want it, but they're not interested. That's okay. You don't do anything. That's fine. The second picture is save game of your guys' best experience. Saved. Every part of it. The feeling, the emotion, the atmosphere. Does it seem appealing to you? Does it seem more appealing than the off?
Because I'm thinking about something, and it's gonna be maybe dirty and gross.
No, okay. If you're okay, I'm okay. Yeah, right.
Because the thing is, let's say, for example,
Yeah.
people who use OnlyFans and they work in OnlyFans, yeah, and you see, like all the vibrators and whatever they're using is because people they're giving tokens to get money from there. Yeah, like I say, I'm gonna send some tokens to you, and you're gonna get some feeling in your body. Yeah, if it's gonna happen something like that, I will be right. Because it's like,
What did you say? That's wild.
because if let's say like okay, I won the match.
Yeah.
What physically is gonna happen to you? That's what I'm saying.
If you win the match.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You're talking about when you
like something stimulation in your
the
body.
emotion,
yeah.
All right.
But physically, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
This is perfect. This is perfect. I'm sure that maybe they already have reached a point where they can affect you with drugs or simulation of some kind that's going to make you think and feel those things. We played horror games the other night, and you felt scared, no?
Yeah, a lot.
Simulating that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's believable. It's real. And then when I speak about, some of the times where my heart's like pounded on my chest. When people talk about, whenever they go to the gym for however long, I'm going to have a heart attack because it's no. You'll have a heart attack if you're playing for millions of dollars and your family depends on it. Like, it's hard to think about it. You're going to create this atmosphere that's going to make your heart actually explode. So in my experience, some of the times where I felt that the best part, 1000%, it's going to be like this forever. The best part is not knowing. If you don't know something,
you're curious.
Yeah, you're scared. You don't know what's going to happen. If you already know what's going to happen, yeah. But if you don't know if you're going to lose or win,
wow. Okay, coming back to the Hikikomoris.
You got it.
I just choose some examples of people consider a Hikikomoris from the BBC portal, and I'm gonna actually read from there. That was expressions and that kind of real situations that happened with them.
Yeah, go for it.
So after quitting his job in 2015, Tomoki, 29 years old, tells me he was determined to get back into work and regularly visit the job center. He also attended a religious group almost daily, but the group's leader started publicly criticizing his attitude and inability to get back into work. When he stopped attending, the leader called him several times a week, and the pressure, combined with that from his family, eventually caused him to withdraw completely. And I blame myself, he said. I didn't want to see anyone. I didn't want to go outside. Yeah. Fukuoka City's Hikikomori Support Center in the Joka room, I think is the Japanese. I don't know. They call them Take It Easy room. Like, it's a special place to go
take
to.
It easy.
Yeah, take it easy.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that's expression or they are trying to translate from Japanese, but they say take it easy room. I don't know.
Get one of those. Take it easy.
Yeah. One bio on the group describes the pressure that they felt to conform. School is a monoculture because look at this. I think it's pretty interesting the way that they can see the school. The school is a monoculture. Everyone has to have the same opinion. And I remember it was like that for me. Says one of the visitors, 34 years old. If someone says something, they're out of the group. Like, if someone says something wrong, yeah, you have to think the same like me. Oof. And actually, they teach that in the school. And I think even for myself, when I was going to the high school, I was like, hey, wait a second, you have to think like everyone else here in this group. Yeah, and let's say like as one of the not the main reason, but they decide to go online because of that. Like they are not agree. So something interesting that we were talking the last weekend about the movie Monsters Inc. Yeah, you remember? But you were still drunk.
I was way too drunk, but I remember.
But you remember because it's pretty interesting and everyone can listen to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Monster Inc. as a representation of society And please tell us the theory that we had that night with a little alcohol.
I was too drunk. You have to start us off.
Come on, bro. We started like they were selling screams, you know?
Oh, instantly. Got it back.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was asking if it's going to get too political for you, and you're like, no, it's fine. So we went into it, and the idea is that at the start of Monsters Inc., you see them selling screams. Fair. You see them scaring kids in whatever way they can. They're creative.
Mm-hmm.
Like the skills are there. They're creative. They're thinking out of the box in a way to scare these kids to get these screams. And we were talking about it, that represents what happens in a lot of society. You're scared. You're scared into not giving over your energy, but producing something. You're scared to do that, Stay in these lines or else. And you're producing this much. And then we looked into what the laughing did, what the happiness did, how empowering that was to go and make them laugh. And for a moment that we were like, oh my God, Monsters Inc. is so deep. What the heck? It's true. Maybe it's true. But when you look at those as two abstract ideas, and you see that, if you want to lead people, it's a common theme for all of us to know about it. There's a leader at the back whipping us to go forward, and then there's a leader at the front leading us to go forward. And you see which one you want to be behind, or in front of. You don't want to be in front of the guy that's freaking smacking you and telling you, oh, you need to get this done or else you're fired. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You have to work these 12 hours, 6 hours paid. Don't tell nobody.
It's your responsibility. Or come on, you know how it works the business.
Yeah, that's right. This is your job description. This is what you have to do. Blah, blah, blah. Right? And then you look at the other people, like our friend Jazz, for example, and she goes and says, come on, we'll do it. Come on, let's go out. I'll go out there, I'll do this, and then you go out there and you do that. Like, I'll be there with you guys. I'll use the suffering, I'm suffering too. He's in the heat, I'm in the heat too. And you see the difference in leadership. People respect those types of people.
We say in Spanish, like, put the t-shirt. Put the t-shirt on. Like, come on,
Oh, I know, because, what's his face did mention, put the shirt on, I'm coming out. He went out there for 5 minutes, went back inside. Like, I think he just tried it on. He didn't get in there, put the shirt on for real. But you're right. When we talk about Monsters Inc., that's true. In my eyes, anyway.
Wow. But actually, really, I was kind of shocked, to be honest. Like, say, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Well, it's weird how there are a lot of people telling you, no, that's not how that works. No, I don't think it will work. There's no evidence that works. And then most of our populace is like, no, that's right. I'll follow the person that's out there working for some weird reason. You hear battle stories, and you hear the people that are leading their armies. And like, everyone behind them was crazy. I don't know what the hell was going on, but they rushed us, and I don't know who the leader was. He was at the front somewhere, chopping us all up.
I remember the Second World War, and they were taking drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Just to try to deal with all the crazy shit that was happening. And kind of famous in Germany, even in Russia, in all those parts. Look at us. We are the consequence of that,
Result, we're definitely,
So a special case in 2016, a special journalist portal, they report on a patient who suddenly started going out daily after downloading Nintendo's hit smartphone game Pokemon Go. So actually, that's one good example of what people start going out because the game. So the game uses augmented reality to overlay digital creatures into the real world that players have to roam about collecting. So Kato thinks this kind of bridge between real and virtual worlds could help encourage Hikikomoris out for their homes and even make it easier for health workers to make first contact, particularly if it can be tailored to their needs. For example, says Kato, this kind of game could be tweaked so valuable items appear at Hikikomori support centers. Do we have more games like that?
Look.
Because this one looks really positive for Hikikomoris, And people was really annoyed by the fact seeing people running and having accidents on the streets for just to catch the Pokemons. Because I really remember those kind of things. So I think this is a really good fact.
Yeah.
But I think we don't have anything like that.
Well, we don't. We need more like that. I think it's the sweet spot between how we were talking about before, using both knowledge from virtual world versus real world and mixing them together. That's where you sit. Where I sit is like the person viewing both of them. And then if you've got one world that's really stressful for you, real harsh, all that exists is just harsh. That's it. You're not really interested in that. And then you've got Pokemon running around, and one of these like little cute things over there in the harsh place, you're like, damn, man, this sucks, but that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in the harsh place.
That's, for me, it's pretty impressive. Actually, you have to go out instead of just to see it and play. Actually, pretty good. Yeah, anything else you want to say?
I was just gonna say that it might be scary if someone gets their hands on it and doesn't make a game. If they make like a credit score, like we've seen those types of things where you are rewarded based on how you treat other people, but it's all twisted to the culture of that place.
Yeah,
you've got to like you got to bow at certain places. You can't break any of the laws, which is fair. You shouldn't be breaking laws, but it cuts away your freedom, and it makes you play the game to be the best at this, but in a way that's like it's malice. It's trapped in a box. You got to be the best, but you're going to be a soldier. You're going to be the coolest. You're going to be the best at this game, but it's going to make you some cold-hearted person that can run a business and cut people off when you need to. So I don't want them to create that. I want them to give people the freedom and just give them this big platform within limits. Like, you're not going to go and kill a bunch of people. Please, no. But give them enough.
Do you know that
freedom.
USA is famous because of that?
Oh,
yeah.
So sad. And they have
that's
that
a normal
freedom.
day in USA.
And it, like, you can see that even that, because I believe that there's a lot of twisting, a little bias in there that wants to shape you a certain way, even though it's freedom. I think that as long as there's, if you respawn, eventually you're going to learn. Might not be the first however long.
Yeah.
But eventually you'll learn.
Wow. So, about the treatment, that actually is not, even they don't know how to treat the Hikikomoris.
They don't know how to figure it out.
Like, they try to relate with mental illness, but it's not like a real definition. So what they say, like a therapy, may occur as individual, group, or family therapy. And often psychologists pursue multiple types of therapy at one time. Hikikomori patients are frequently resistant to attending therapy sessions. Of course, like how are you gonna try to talk to a person that they don't want to go out? But family members are encouraged to attend even when the patient will not to participate. Like, okay, something interesting, like they try to talk with the family and they try to convince the family, okay, let's try to do these kind of strategies to talk to him, to try to persuade, like encourage him to go out. And at the moment they try to approach to the family, but not directly because it's kind of hard. Or you can do online therapies, but I don't know, to be honest. From my perspective, I think he's still in the house. Like
he's not leaving. He's not playing in the real world. I think that they need to do a bit of Pokemon Go, a bit of a
find another game. I don't know.
Maybe they need to make something that is enticing, because what's appealing in the real world for them? If it's just going to be you're a loser for your life, that's guaranteed. You're never going to be a winner. You're a loser. That's your spot in this world. But what's appealing about that? I want to sign up to be a loser. I want to sign up to be the dude who carries all the weight at the bottom. I don't do that. No one wants to do that. But it's needed in the real world. So there needs to be some way, like maybe they could treat them like, clan houses or families, or where a bunch of them will be put together and they're judged on how well they perform as a group. But in a game setting that requires them to go out to places, do jobs, or get involved in society for the minimum. You don't have to be there for 24 hours. You're not like trapped 24 hours. So you have to live out there for 24 hours, be involved with everyone. No, you just have to live your 8 hours. You go to a shop, you get some food, and then you can go and be a part of this house that's your group, that's your new family. These guys who also feel the same way as you, that are also chasing after whatever it is that they find is appealing for them.
Yeah, actually, I found out this kind of information about how it was really related what you're saying is try to move these people to share houses. Yeah. And every weekend they were trying to, I don't know, drink something, try to have a conversation, something like that. But I think in the end, you're coming back to your room, and in the end, you're going to be there. I was reading one guy when happened all the COVID-19, he was spending around 8 months in his room, and he was getting just deliveries for food. And actually, it's a photo there. Lady, I'm going to share in the social media. And it's a guy living in this mattress, single mattress on the floor, all the food around. And I say, bro, this is really bad. How you can live in that kind of mess? And I don't know. I mean, you can decide if you want to live in the online, but in the end, you need to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, really? Yeah. Or, for example, they try to avoid to go to the doctors. Because let's say if they put in the therapy or something, they have to be away of the gaming or the online life.
Waste their time.
Yeah, like, oh, I don't need that. You know that a lot of people say, no, I don't need it, but actually you need it. Yeah. And well, it's really, they're trying to do something with that, because after the COVID-19, all the Hikikomoris, the population of Hikikomoris increased a lot around the world, because instead of, to get better, they get worse.
I think it's because maybe there wasn't any purpose for them, man. If you look at a lot of the things that we've done in our lives, there was a purpose. One of the most common one among all of us is we want money, want better things, in the real world. That's for most of us. Then Hikikomoris here, they don't care about that. They want better stuff in the game. I think there's no common goal between them or everyone. There's no thing that we're all trying to do together. Everyone just playing their solo stuff on their own.
Yeah.
So I think if they had a way, maybe, picture this, maybe we have a game for them that'll get their rent and everything paid for a certain amount of time. Who knows? It'll pay everything in their real life. They'll be taken care of. The doctor will see them, whatever. But the game is that you have to save another Hikikomori. You don't know, but you have to save this avatar, whatever it is in the game. So you have to make sure that they get up. You have to try and bring them to, like, oh, come and socialize with these guys. You got to get them to go out to the doctor. You got to get them to study, even if it's just to clear their mind from the game or help them learn more techniques to beat things in their game. But it would be better for them because there's a purpose. It's not for them. Because when you put a lot of these people in here, if it's just for them, they just want to sit in there. And those people that they're playing with, the character that they're playing as, is what they care about, what they're working for. Not this person.
Would you say you were playing before with this kind of population? I don't know, because you were streaming and gaming for a long time.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe not really deep, but maybe something close to this kind of life. Like, do you know someone who was like that, or is like that?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people that have, there are a lot of people that have a lot of money that don't actually have to do much. And they do that. And they're really hard to compete against. I mean, if you think about it, I work 8+ hours a day and go home, and I've got 4 hours to train and compete. That's it. That's all I've got. And then you take someone that sits at home, got everything paid, there's no bills, no stress. All they have to do is be good at this game. That's your one job, be good at this game. 18 hours, 2 lunch breaks.
What?
6 hours of sleep, or whatever it is, Now, how are you going to compete with that? How am I? Like, how exceptional do I have to be to beat someone like that? How good do I have to be that in 4 hours of my practice, I have to beat someone with 4 times as amount, 4 times the amount of money?
Yeah.
Hard. So yeah, the people with a lot of money, and actually, it's funny. There's a lot of stay-at-home mums who play games a lot, and for me, it sometimes gets worrying if they, like, I'm not trying to, like, look after their kids or whatever. But if you're on the game, for 16 hours, my guy,
say, what the fuck are the
where is the kid?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Where's the kid? Is the kid playing too? Like,
yeah,
damn, don't want to, in a way, extend Hikikomori's behavior into not caring about the things around you, because this is real. It sucks sometimes, but it's real. It's not to say that where you're living in the game isn't real, though. It's just that both of them might be real, and you got to take care of both of them for them both to survive. That's it.
Wow. If would you like, let's say, like, it's a Hikikomori just sitting next to us. What would you say to them, or to a guy or girl, whatever, who was sitting with us? Do you give any words to them, or?
I believe that people need their freedom as well. So I think the only thing I'd ask them is like, are they happy? Really? If I could get an answer from them that was real, if they really believe they're happy, then what am I? Who am I to try and no, your happiness isn't real? Are you happy? Are you really happy with the way you're living? If they tell me any kind of hint of no, or they're unsatisfied some way, then that's when you can help them out.
Wow. So do you have any conclusion about this? What would you say about like the gaming life that you have?
Yeah.
Because that's the reason that you are talking with really good knowledge. Yeah. And do you have any conclusion about this kid? What do you think is going to happen with this?
I don't want it to be this way, but I think sometimes there has to be something not in charge of us, but there has to be some kind of guideline. Because, like I said at the start, there are some people who take it too far. Not going to the bathroom is too far. Damaging your house, your health, damaging all that stuff, your family, neglecting your kids or whatever. That's all bad. If we look at humanity, bro, trying to get prosperous, trying to be prosperous, trying to live and grow together, not one person rot over there.
Yeah.
But I also think with guidelines, there needs to be some sort of help. And it can't just be the regular, it's just a mental health thing. We'll just give you some pills, shuffle you on, you're going to be okay. Wrong. They're not going to be.
Really, really hard to say that. So I think my conclusion is that we're just the consequence of our actions for many generations. Every decision made in the past is just a way that we can eat, work, dream, build, or believe in existence. Social status, or just the way to perceive that, or what people call good life, like going to the church every Sunday, believing in fake saviors or the judgment of the society, living away of this reality, being connecting with the universe, nature, plants, smoking, or just living on the internet, rejecting any social contact. We are also responsible to keep believing in religions or cults that made us feel secure, safe, because we always need a reason to believe in something. Yeah, canceling the hopeless war where we are living now.
Yeah.
So, bro, thanks for coming to Popaluzzi Studio.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. So, thank you so much. My name is Jason Gonzalez, and I'll wait for you in our next episode of Popaluzzi Studio. Please follow us on Instagram, Popaluz_studio. Do you wanna leave your social media or something?
Man.
Yeah.
So I'm Ty and Sanctuary IV on Twitch. That's all for me.
That's it?
That's it.
That's cool. If you want to see some of my photography, I'll be on Instagram, JGP, Too Easy, music by Kid Car Artist, a beat platform. Thanks for listening.